Hello there guys, welcome back to map 2 of the GOCL League of today's game of E-Frag versus Vexed. I'm your caster Gamers Voice and I'm joined here by Logan. How's it going, bud?
It's going alright, man. I enjoyed the first map, even though it wasn't as close as I liked as I think it should have been. I liked the back and forth play we had, I liked the teams reading each other and the adaptation they've both displayed. I think this map is going to be a lot closer though, obviously being Vexed pick. Hopefully they're going to stop the E-Frag aggression, but E-Frag's actually won the knife round and they're going to choose to switch on that CT side. You know, Overpass used to be a very, very CT-sided map when it first came out, but I think as, you know, it's been in the rotation longer and longer, I've started to actually see it coming a little bit T-sided almost, more like Dust 2. I'm wondering how this will play out against these two teams, so I'll keep my opinion to myself for now, but I think actually it's probably going to end up being T-sided with these two teams.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I do kind of agree with you there. I mean, look at how these teams both play. On this map in particular, I'm really excited to see this just because of how different the natures are. You know, one team's really quite hyper-aggressive and the other is somewhat the opposite in a lot of ways. So you even notice now, we're going to see Roland down here kind of lurking around inside a connector, waiting for this aggressive push, because they know what E-Frag are like. You know how they like to go hard on this aggression, and with that push-up connector, they don't think there's going to be anyone B, so they're kind of playing right into E-Frag's hands here. Vexed by heading out over towards long. They've got 4 of their players here with Roland lurking around from the back, and it's all going to be down to him to kind of open this up for them as he does come out of connector, and he finds one, but then Victor very swiftly gets the trade frag, putting this into a 4 versus 4.
I'm loving the back and forth play here. It's counter after counter. You saw Vex pushing in, getting the attention of the CTs into toilet area. Then they pull back, then the CTs counter pushed, and then the T's counter pushed their counter pushed, and now we've got the B side open. It's great back and forth play here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Vex is looking so at home here on the T side. They knew exactly what they were planning to do from the outset by the looks of things, and really good adapting there to actually the 2 guys pushing up connector, because that would have caught a lot of other teams off guard, I think, but Vex did a very, very phenomenal job of kind of playing around that, and actually they managed to, you know, turn that into an advantage by getting onto the B bomb site.
Yeah, they did. Now we got that first round on the board, probably the hardest round to get on the board. Once they got that though, got the piss round. If they play the cards right, they should be able to capitalize and pick up another couple, but watch out for Spiley. He's picked up the scout here, and he's going to be playing over long A. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage. He's got the Kevlar as well, so even if they, you know, get the lucky headshot at range on him, it's not going to be able to take him out of the game. I think it's all going to come down to whether Spiley can land his shots. We heard one rattle off there, but it didn't make contact.
Yeah, on the scout, very, very powerful weapon. You can use that thing while you're backflipping, running. You could be diving through the air, pretending like you're in the Matrix, and it's still a really accurate weapon, and I think I'm in love with it. In an entirely platonic way, though. Not
absolutely
sexually. Maybe a bit sexually.
Well, some of the shots you can pull off with it, you know, I think that might be the correct term to refer to it. But
yeah.
You know, a lot of pros actually dislike the scout quite a lot because of its, you know, gimmickiness, being able to just jump and get a shot while jumping. It's oof. Here we go. Poor Alan, trapped in the corner, gonna get put down like a rabid dog. And now T's make their final push.
Oh, great kill there by Spiley. He's doing great damage with that scout. It's proved to be one hell of an investment here. Hyper's going to put an end to that, as they cannot afford to be losing this HP, and now Dreamer pushing out onto the site with the CZ through the smoke. He does deny that bomb plant, and then swiftly running back through. It's all going to come down to Furlin here with just that Galil and 5 seconds left. It's going to be a bit of a miracle if he manages to pull this one back, and he doesn't. And, you know, E-Frag, they seem really, really good at losing this like in the first round and then recovering it in the pistol. I would just, if I were them, I would just be advised, you know, just do that all the time. Just don't even bother with that first round. Just throw away. Don't bother buying either, because they're really good at getting this second round. And then look at what it's done to Vex's economy. They, you know, they have a good amount of stuff. They have a few bits of utility, some armor. But you know, when you look at what they had before, they couldn't beat them with that kind of, you know, forced up anti-eco buy. So, you know, it's a bit of a long shot here. Roland does open it with some good damage onto Victor, taking him down to 50 HP. So, you know, an early HP advantage towards Vex is nothing to shy away from.
Oh no, but I think E-Frag are playing this perfectly. You know, they peaked, found out all where Vex were. Didn't work out, Victor took some damage, but they did the smart thing. They pulled back, and they pulled back as a unit. Look, you know, Victor's backed up right here with Bubble. the two of them be able to get the trade frag. If Victor does go down, Bubble should be right on it. So we'll see, is Bubble going to be able to pick up a trade frag? Yes, he will, but he's going to get traded in turn by Pete, I think. Yeah, there's Pete getting a frag, and Spidey is chiming in. So they're trading well, even if they are taking the damage from these teams, they're trading well, which is what Vexed couldn't do the previous round.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, being more at home on this map, we're going to see a lot better, a lot closer game, like what you were saying. And who knows, with you know, with some luck, we might even see this go to map 3, which, you know, I certainly hope it does. I'd love seeing these two teams battle it out just because of how they're playing right now. But anyway, here's going to be Furlan with that wonderful PT50 kill. It might just be enough to get them this round. NKL down to 41 HP, but he has got that AK armor and a defuse kit, so he's got plenty of time to play with here. Well, and they're just waiting as the bomb is ticking, and he lands a beautiful flick shot there, taking down NKL. And that's going to be the second round. A very back and forth game, like what you were saying. So, you know, immediately, straight off the bat, we're noticing the closeness of this. You know, and 2 rounds after losing that first one. Sorry, after losing the second or whatever. It's weird how it worked. You get what I mean. After winning it on a
get what you mean. Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah, you know, fairly important, the fact that they managed to get that round, and, you know, really quite good. And we're going to be seeing a really similar buy, actually, from E-Frag with that scout and spy leader. I'm pretty sure that's exactly the same as what it was before.
Yeah, we've got to see a change of plans of Vexed. We've realised that, you know, they overface a little bit. You know, they've been a little bit too aggressive at times, and they're going to adapt and be more passive. But here we go again. It's like a repeat. Vexed brought up a load of good weaponry, but Spy Leader with that scout, still dangerous. At least Rallan's not going to get himself caught in a silly situation he can't get out of this time. They're going to work instead over towards that B site, which they believe is less defended.
But sadly, that's not going to be the case. There's a wonderful read here from E-Frag and good damage from Bubble. And then we're going to be seeing, I believe that's Dreamer playing that close angle with the CZ. He does get traded out, though. Vex doing a pivotal job of trading these kills out. And now it's all on a spy leader here with the scout inside of heaven. And if he can make a few good shots connect, this is Brown is by no means over yet. My words just kind of turned to mush then. But, you know, it's not going to happen as Pete does land that headshot. And then that's going to be the second round in succession for Vexed. So that's going to force E-Frag onto having no money.
Your brain turned to mush. I mean, I think E-Frag's brain's turned to mush there with his beautiful headshots coming out. And, yeah, as you said, another round on the board. Economy for E-Frag is still pretty weak. You know, they did that 4 spy and they lost some round afterwards. So I think we're going to see another round coming out here from Vexed. And then it's going to be that crucial round when it's 4-1. If E-Frag can counter with a full buy. We haven't seen a proper buy from E-Frag, you know, buying everything they want, whether it be orbs or M4s. I think E-Frag are going to look very deadly with that setup, and it's going to come down to Vexed taking their time, working out how these E-Frag players are playing, and finding the chinks in the armor, which at the moment right now is Toilets only defended by 1 player.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if they manage to catch wind of that early on in the game, they can definitely use that against E-Frag and force them to change up their current layout, because E-Frag, even though they're on these ecos, they still look very comfortable in how they're playing. You notice they don't like they're under a lot of pressure. They're not trying anything too crazy, even on these pistol rounds. But Furlan, oh my god, with that double kill, he does get traded out by NKL. But, you know, that's a lot of money he just done right there. And NKL, you know, very little reward for actually getting that kill.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to NKL just with Mac 10. He's playing very passive here. If I was him, I'd be playing very aggressive right now. He's heard that information of the player pushing up toilet, so yeah, he's going to start to push towards there. It's about him just taking down weapons at this point. There's no point saving a Mac 10 really, but an AK?
Isn't there? I would take it. I'd take the Mac 10. It's beautiful.
I wouldn't. I'd go for the money. $600.
Was it a Mac 10 fade?
It was a heat.
Oh, it was a heat? Oh, and then no. Oh, get away from me. If it was a fade, that looks lovely. I would eat a fade. They made those, oh, what was it? I don't know. They make fade everything now. All Counter-Strike related. It's great. I just want my whole room to kind of have a fade design. I'd love it. But, yeah, no, you know, enough about home decorating. You know, look at this
decorating channel.
Yeah, we should open that. The Nip home decorating TV. Oh, can you imagine that?
Oh,
I can imagine it. Do you want to go halvesies on starting that up?
That could be beautiful. Yeah, could get a sponsorship from IKEA. Oh, it'd be fantastic.
Oh, they're a Swedish company as well. Oh my god, it's like it was. It's like it was meant to be. You know, we could like wallpaper Freiburg's room or something. That'd be fun.
Bananas. Just banana wallpaper.
It's
fantastic.
Just actually just staple gun a banana to a wall.
That's gonna go off. That's not hygienic, is it?
It's not hygienic, but it's delicious. And it's nutritious and full of potassium, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, kids, eat bananas. There you go. You'll grow up nice and strong.
Right,
anyway.
Actually, we're not sponsored by bananas, you can't say that. No, but, so
back to the game. It's gonna be a fast push on the B from Vexed here. Didn't get any information from the E-Frag players on where they're playing. Very quiet round up until this point. They're just gonna bomb it in. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, you know, lots of aggression coming out here from Vexed, and it's working diligently for them as Furlan opening up this whole site with a wonderful 3k, and that's going to win them the round 1-5. And that's by no means a shabby scoreline, as this map is very kind of 50-50, I would say. You know, maybe an 8-7 scoreline to the CT side isn't too shabby, something to turn your nose up at. 10-5 is possible, but I mean, like you say, it's definitely started to lean a little bit more towards the T side than it used to be. So, you know, 5 rounds though, this early on, and this much pressure on E-Frag is not shabby whatsoever. As you can tell, E-Frag really kind of feeling the burn now, and not just from that Molotov that landed on short. I'm on about, you know, economy-wise, very little money, and they're going to be forced into another eco this late on in the game. You know, that's probably not too good for them.
Oh, that's unfortunate, really, for Groovy there. He was in a bit of an isolated position, no one to trade with him, and Ryland's putting himself in exactly the same sort of position, exposing himself with no one to trade. However, it's sort of got a feeling for a Vex. They realise that maybe E-Frag have stacked a little bit towards that B site, and they're going to start to rotate and going to make an A push. E-Frag though are going to walk towards A site, not going to give away any information for the players on possibly outside B. And, oh, they've read each other perfectly here.
Yeah, they have a great read coming out from E-Frag. And, you know, not a bad rotate necessarily coming out from Vex, because it does make sense to rotate up towards the A-bomb site when you've got, you know, when you've exerted a little bit of pressure over towards B, and it doesn't make sense for them to rotate off. But E-Frag here, they have lots of information, what with Victor being so close around the back, as he does find Roland, does some great damage, and then just leaves. And that's something I really admire about E-Frag, is they know exactly when to run back. You'll notice they never seem to overextend, despite being so highly aggressive.
Arcs of fire getting crossed there, and the TTs are taking advantage of it. Just T's blocking each other everywhere, and they just walk into that E-Frag trap. They just send a E-Frag just got that player behind them, and as soon as that player was in position behind, they were like fish being chased into a net by one shark. Yep.
Yeah. Sharks are actually sharks are the best thing to use to catch fish. Actually, it's it works 100% of the time. They definitely don't just eat them all.
For sure, it's just not 60% of the time, every time.
60% of the time, 50% of the time.
That's not good odds, is it?
No, not really. It's fairly terrible. My maths is a bit rusty, but I'm sure yours is good. So if you want to whip out the calculator, I'm sure you can let me know those percentages as one value. But here's Vexed here. They're going to be lining up, not doing anything just yet, but they have got smokes ready to go on to B. And I'm curious to see if they're going to use them just as a fake, or if they're actually going to commit to this, because with so few players over towards the B bomb site, it's going to be about 3. Providing that guy in mid does indeed go in a connector. I'm pretty sure he isn't connected, my bad, but yeah, that's gonna be Groovy playing connector. He's been doing that every round, and he's just spotting mid for the information. He's gonna make the call that no one's mid, and you know, this could actually lead to some sort of A take. Yeah, but
they're making them think that, aren't they? They're putting the flashes in, but they're not pushing on them. See some flashes going over towards B now, Molotovs, and now they're going to pull back again, and it's just back and forth, and now they're going to start taking A again, but here we go. Been pushed a little bit, got the attention, E-Frag realised, okay, there's players there, but not that many. NKL push for information, get information, it's a quick rotate here. Dreamer's in a great position to capitalise and pick up that first frag, but Hyper begins to kill. CTs is rotating, Groovy gets another, Spy lead with a return. It's all turned to chaos right now.
Yes, it has, and now Spy Leader trying to find the head of, I believe that was Roland, yep, and Roland doesn't sadly find his first, and that's going to be the 6th round now for Vexed. E-Frag only posting up 2 rounds here. I mean, this is probably the most vulnerable we've seen them so far, losing this many in kind of rapid succession. So tell me, how do you think that E-Frag could be playing this differently? Because, you know, Vexed showing that they're being very dominant in terms of their strategy just then when we saw that, like, double fake. I thought that was a lovely strat. So, you know, looking at E-Frag's setup currently, what do you feel is wrong with it?
I feel like they're just, yeah, they're too aggressive in one way, in that when they rotate, they're aggressive. The initial positionings are great, they get the information early, and then they fall back, and it's brilliant. But then, when Vex make their final push, everyone from E-Frag is facing, and they're not facing the right angles, and they're getting killed. But saying that, Groove is facing a terrible angle there, and he's going to get picked off by Dreamer. Didn't realise the smoke left.
So do you think it kind of feels like maybe E-Frag are stuck in this eco round mentality, whereby they're trying to be like really aggressive with their peaks, all kind of peeking out, you know, similar to how they do on like these pistol buys. But you know, maybe they should try playing a little bit more relaxed. They're doing great getting the information early on, but then, you know, falling back once they've got it.
It might be
showing restraint.
I'll tell you what it might be down to: a lack of utility when it comes to the late round. If you look at the late round now, we've got a couple of nades, one flash and one smoke. If they held some Molotovs or a couple extra flashes back, when this final push from Vex comes onto this A site, they might be in a better position to handle it. And now they're resorting to playing ridiculous positions like that. That's not going to work out, is it? Now look, see, Vex have the Molotovs, have the utility to force E-Frag out of position, and it's working well for them. I think it's just E-Frag using their utility too early.
Yeah, definitely does seem that way, but that's going to be a 2 versus 2 here. We're going to see Pete, bomb's going to be planted for him over towards toilets, and he's just watching this close bank angle as he does so diligently with the AWP. Both him and Ralin just waiting for the defuse. Pete finds the first. That's all down to Spy Leader, 6 HP. It's by no means impossible, and Spy Leader, as his name suggests, you know, probably is the guy you'd want in this situation to be a little bit sneaky. But he's just going to be falling back, looking to save that gun over towards long, as the economy on the CT side really not very strong right now. In fact, it's horrendous. You know, it's almost like a foreshadowing of the real world economy, isn't it? It looks so promising at the start, and then it's all gone downhill.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe it's just because E-Frag maybe were buying too much on their ecos. Maybe they're not meant to do a double eco and just bite the bullet and realise, yeah guys, we need to buy the utility. Or maybe it is that the utility they do buy, they're using too quickly. Could be any one of those factors really, but I think it does come down to that utility. That seems to be the main difference when it gets to the end of the round. Vexed have the nades and the Molotovs to push E-Frag out of position, whereas E-Frag are resorting to playing tight angles where they're going to get caught out one by one.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. It does look like Vexed always been able to force them off of the site with that utility, and E-Frag unable to reciprocate those sorts of results. Here's, for example, right now as Vexed pushing out of the site, they're using their mollies so well, and already they've zoned kind of everyone off of the site with just well-placed smoke grenades and Molotovs. So Victor's just going to push straight through. He does manage to get one. And, you know, that's a little bit of damage. That's probably what they would have hoped for. Maybe they can get a second on Furlan here. He's quite low as they do that boost, but it's not going to find anyone. And then Pete with a nice flick. Bubble does find one, though. So 3 players survive on Vex side, but, you know, they could have done with all 5. Their economy's strong enough to buy this round, but when you look at it, it's not as strong as you might think for a team who is this much of a lead. Admittedly, you know, you have a lot of money on Vexed. On Vexed Pete, that is, sorry. But, you know, they are very vulnerable here to having their economy reset, and you know, you look over at E-Frag and their economy once again very weak as a result of buying on this round. Maybe a double eco would have been better, so then they can grab the utility they need.
What I'm disappointed with is the lack of Molotovs on E-Frag side. Not a single one there, and Dreamer already using up all his nades on B. You know, if they were to push B Monster hard and aggressive now, they've got no counter for it. Victor will fall, he's out of position, not really covered. Hyper will get the trade, but yeah, Spy Leader gets the trade eventually, but Hyper shouldn't have been able to get that frag and just walk away like he did. He could have just walked away there and it would have been a 4v3. This is E-Frag now, they're holding too aggressive. They were just the right amount of aggressive. They're getting information and falling back. Now they're getting aggressive and holding these positions and trying to do more damage than they actually need to, and it's all falling apart really.
Dreamer here though, looking to put things right for maybe where his team has been underperforming a little bit, and you know, it does all fall down around him there as Groovy does manage to find that kill and equalize the numbers out once again, although he is very low HP as he did get dinked down fairly low, but he does a lot of damage and finds the kill onto AK, and that's what had a Spy Leader in this 1 versus 2 here. Bomb not down just yet, but he does get caught looking out into the wrong place, maybe a little bit of miscommunication there, and that's going to be 2-9, and at this point Vexed have got more than enough rounds on what they need. And E-Frag just seem to be struggling to adapt to how Vexed are playing right now.
Yeah, well, this is Vexed to pick. You know, you expected them to be drilled, and what's really drilled about them is the way they're using these Molotovs when they're going onto site. They're saving them, they're using their Molotovs to force these CTs out of position, and they're getting the frags instantly. Everyone knows what angle they should be watching. I think this is just a really strong performance from Vexed here.
Definitely, and after that first game, they could have done with one. We might be seeing this going to map 3 if this trend continues, but it was all going to come down to the second half. Vexed, though, firmly have this first half in their grasp as they do push out of the B-bomb site here, and it's probably the weakest they've looked in terms of round-wise. Only 2 players left versus the 3 E-Frag players, and as quick as you like, it does become a 1 versus 3 here with Groovy being the only man alive inside of water, pushing up towards heaven. They're trying to find that kill on a Victor, but Victor does manage to take him down. So that's going to be 3-8. But, you know, is it going to be too little too late? I'm not too sure.
We'll have to see. I mean, we're going to see a decent round coming up from Vexed here in terms of what they can buy. For the first time in a long time, we see E-Frag with a full set of nades on everyone. If E-Frag get this round out, make it 4-9, I can see them closing out 6-9, and then they've got a good chance on T side. However, if Vex counter this, make it 10-3 and ruin the E-Frag economy, it's Vexed game. This map has gone to them, it's going to go to dust too. It's just happened. Just got to deal with it.
Alright, so you know, Vex looking really strong at this point, and E-Frag, you know, maybe it's not the fact that they can't adapt. Maybe it's just the fact that they're being anti-stratted quite hard by Vexed at this point. Vexed do seem to have a really good understanding of how they're playing. If it comes down to dust too, who would you say has a good chance of taking that? I would say it's very 50-50 at that point.
I'd favour Vexed, if I'm honest. I think
really?
Honestly, I think Vexed look stronger and stronger every time I see them. The E-Frag are good, don't get me wrong, it'll be a very tough game, and a lot of people would say E-Frags are the favourites coming into this, but I don't know, when I watch Vexed, they look so drilled. Even when they win together, when they lose together. E-Frag, they don't seem as much as a team, you know, they don't seem as drilled. On Inferno, yeah, they won it strongly, but they didn't look as drilled when they won as when Vexed are winning rounds now.
Yeah, no, I do agree. And the other thing that you're going to notice as well is as Vex do continue to win these rounds, they become more and more comfortable and more confident. Oh, double C word. That was tricky to say. Yeah, no, but I mean, you definitely notice the increase in confidence just in how they're playing. You know, they're doing fairly routine strategies. They're not changing up too much because it's working. You know, they don't have to change. It's E-Frag who are having to change theirs. They're forcing them to make on-the-fly decisions. Such as right now here, that bomb is going to be ticking down, and with Hyper and Ferlin still alive here, and it isn't being planted for them both. It's all down to NKL as he finds one, and he's going to have to stick that defuse, and you know, maybe if he did, he might have gotten that, but it's not meant to be as he does run away, and Ferlin does manage to find that kill. It's not going to be a saving gun kind of day, and that's going to take the score to 3-10 as I believe the no, my CS just died, so it's all down to you, buddy.
Well, I'm still in the game at least, and just going to solo it for a little while. Vex 10 rounds on the boards to E-Frag 3. Vex cash looking good, and I think it's going to end up with Vex closing this one out quite convincingly. We've got Pete flashing mid and looking for a push, but not much is happening. We've got a couple of double stacks even. Like we've got no one really watching the long A at the moment. Just Bubble and Victor in the toilets area with a little boost over. We've got another boost from Spy Leader and NKL. Their boost spot on B. And we'll be one playing Monster. So, very rotating oriented this setup. They're just waiting to get the information and then, you know, get the kill from the double stack and get out of there. I believe we've just got a little bit of an issue with the GoTV. Some of us are able to connect and some aren't. We're just going to get that sorted very quickly. Well, I'll keep you up to date if you can still hear me. Groovey's fallen for Vex, so Vex with 4 players on the board and E-Frag still with 5. However, I'd say Vex in a lot better position to make a move right now.
Yeah, I did manage to get back in, so I can assist you here. Looking at this round, it does certainly look like E-Frag have done a good job of managing to get these numbers under their control. Taking this to 5-4 here as it doesn't like Vex to be pushing over onto the B-bomb site, playing those close angles with that pistol. NKL and Dreamer do manage to mop up 3 players there. And now it's all down to Hyper here in this 1 versus 4, and it does look like he's just going to be running away to go and save that gun. The economy of Vex looking very broken. Definitely the worst we've seen it in quite some time. So he's going to be looking to save that AK, and they're going to take that into the next round. You know, 4-10, if they can maybe get this last round, I'd say E-Frag aren't 100% out of this just yet. It's all going to come down to that pistol, though, in the second half.
Yeah, and I think we'll have something prepared, considering this is their map pick. I'm pretty sure they'll have a pretty intense strat planned. So we'll just have to see whether E-Frag have a strat. If E-Frag have a strat and they just happen to counter Vex strat, we're all game. But however, if E-Frag are just going to play on picks, I'm pretty sure Vex will be prepared for that.
And this somehow Rellan's managed to get out onto the B-bomb site from pushing short. Maybe a little bit careless there from E-Frag as they do leave that open. That's going to be all of the B-bomb site open as the rest of the players here stationed up towards A, and the calls come in and the rotate pulling through from Vexed as bomb does go down, and the rotate from E-Frag coming in a little bit too late. Still some players remaining quite stagnant as the rotate is only just on its way, and they're just getting to the site, and now going to be seeing Rallen getting boosted up into heaven. What an interesting kind of play here as they just aim to catch Spy Leader off guard. Is he going to check to his right? I very much doubt it. This could maybe be a free kill, but it's not going to be necessary as Pete does just kind of, you know, manage to secure that frag. And now that they've got Rallen up in heaven, this round should be in their grasp. That's going to take things to 4-11, and that round just seemed to fall apart based on Rallen getting it onto to the B-bomb site there with no resistance whatsoever.
Vex just making all the right calls right now. They just need to get drilled though on the CT side. They need to come up with some super strat here to really counter anything E-Frag have up their sleeves, if anything. We'll see a couple of flashes of smoke from Spy Leader, 4 sets of Kevlar. A bit of a mix, you know, got an upgraded pistol with the CZ there and a smoke. 4 smokes actually across the board for the CT, so I think they're going to be very well drilled here on this pistol round. I think Vexed, you'd hope, would be able to win this one, considering this is epic.
Yeah, definitely. Although let's not count E-Frag out on account of we do know how strong they are with these pistols, and on these first couple of rounds, this is normally when you see them at their strongest. So if they manage to get some momentum going, I would not say that they're by any means out of this just yet. I would not say a 7-11 scoreline is too out of the question.
Oh, absolutely not. Looking at how E-Frag just flashed in there and they're clearing all the positions effectively, they look pretty drilled, you know. They've got some sort of idea of what everyone should be doing, and if they collapse in on this B site together as a team, it's going to be a little bit of fake. Just Dreamer and NKL making the moves there. Oh, Vex have bought it, and they've taken some heavy casualties.
Yeah, the call's going to be coming in. The bomb is indeed going down on A, but with Dreamer coming around from the back, doing a great job of lurking currently. This could create some real upset here for Vex as they try to retake this site, but it's not going to be necessary as it all comes down now to Hyper. He's going to be coming around through mid. He's not going to be able to find anyone just yet, but Victor does spot him out, so they know just where he is. And this CZ suddenly isn't looking like such a good purchase as he does crash down here inside of this corner, hiding like the Bonsai warrior he is. But I don't know if he's going to find anyone just yet as they do push out the site, but it looks like they're going to be pushing towards long, so sadly his CZ with the stat track is not going to be getting any more kills yet.
Yeah, making a safe choice to exit through long, knowing they might hide in this short, but they're not really paying attention here because Hyper just walked around and shot Dreamer in the back as he was knifing a tree. Wow. Yeah,
well, you know, that's deforestation 101, and I know personally he's a bit of an eco warrior, and God, that was such a good pun. I want to appreciate that. Like, that was
eco warrior.
Yeah, that was the best joke I've ever said and will ever say till this day. So, you know, I hope that you appreciate that as much as I do. You know, this round, Vexed forced into a force bite, but you know, 5-11, they can definitely afford to lose a couple of rounds. Most important thing though is just to not let E-Frag sort of be allowed to snowball this, because E-Frag are a team that when they start gaining momentum, it becomes very hard for you to stop the whirlwind of death.
Absolutely. We see nice, slow, steady play here. Victor spotting all right angles, but gonna get traded by Pete, and Pete, you could grab that AK piece quick. He'll take a bullet and won't be able to grab it, but he'll re-establish his position, watching towards toilets, and Rallen's gonna keep checking along. He's not gonna check it correctly though, because he doesn't realise that Bubble's moved up very close to him indeed. The noose is now tightening around the neck of Vexed as all the E-Frag players begin to get into position. Dreamer with a lovely 1-2 there, and well aware of the Hyper pushing around behind. That'll be another frag for NKL, and it's all left down to Groovy with that CZ and armor. Gonna go through Bank and try and pick up a few more kills.
Yeah, you know, anything you can say, but at this point they have got that, there's a GOCL somewhere on the map for him to pick up inside of toilets, but with how E-Frag is set out, it's really not looking like he's going to be able to do that unless he dons his terrorist uniform one more time and Walsh is in there. But it's not looking like that's going to happen anytime soon, so he's just going to be looking to save that pistol armor again. He just loves his CZ. So, you know, he can't be losing it just yet. So, you know, E-Frag doing a really good job so far re-establishing their dominance back in this, but Vexed still doing a great job of managing to pick up these kills on these eco rounds, as we did see a great trade coming out inside of toilets there. And just things like that, you know, you can see how much they've adapted since the game earlier on Inferno, and I think it's because they feel so much more at home on this map. And whereas when you're looking at E-Frag, they seem like, you know, they do get caught out of position a bit. Maybe CT side wasn't their strongest side, and I do definitely feel like they're a T-sided team to begin with. So, you know, and look at this. This is going to be a whole 4-man stack over towards the B-bomb site. Those nades in mid, not going to do any damage. They do just miss, but the flash does delay the push, and they're out on B already. And I'd like to say well read, but it's just kind of luck at this point, and this does mean that 5 Vex players are going to be coming down the rear. And saying that sentence was extremely demoralizing.
We're going to push together on Masvo, and E-Frag better prepare to receive these incoming Vex players.
You know. Oh my god. Just, yeah.
Picking up one there, and that's Furlong down, but little do they know, they've got Pete and Hyper waiting around the corner to pounce on them. Not gonna do it though, they're gonna hold fast E-Frag, and Vex are left waiting and wanting.
Yeah, you know, they might have been able to find a few exit frags there, but they weren't able to. And as a result, they're not going to have any AKs to take into this round. So it's just going to be, you know, the first full buy for the CT side that we've seen. Vex being able to buy a good amount of utility and a nice bit of armor. No defuse kits, though, so they cannot afford to let this plant go down. But, you know, they've sacrificed the defuse kits over the sake of having utility. It kind of shows you, you know, they're not playing for the plant to ever happen. They plan on shutting this push down.
They're expecting a stone wall defense. Exactly. Something that is impossible to get past. The Iron Curtain.
Oh, but Dreamer opening it with a wonderful shot onto Hyper there. Straight away, just chipping away at Vexed's defense. And now they do manage to get onto B. Great trade as NKL finds that kill onto Groovy. And now suddenly the rotates coming in. 3 players versus 4 of E-Frag, and bullets being exchanged left, right, and center. And it does look like Rollins just going to be running away, and that's going to be Vex looking to save this round. With so little time and no kits, it is not looking good for them. So that should take this to 8-11. Unless, of course, Furlong no clips through the map or something, but that doesn't seem very likely. So 8-11 is going to be the current scoreline. How exactly do you feel about that?
I feel like it's not too bad. Vex did a lot of good work on T side, and as long as they don't let the head drops and they make the smart decisions like this to save the weaponry they have and realise, you know, this isn't a round they can win. As long as they, well, we lost one weapon there, and hopefully they won't lose a second. No, they won't. But as long as they keep the weaponry in their hands, you know, and save when they should be saving, it's doable. You know, they can scrounge, scrape around and get a couple of FAMASs, 3 FAMASs for the boys. They've got a chance now. You know, they just mustn't let their heads drop. They mustn't let their mentality be affected by these lost rounds. They will lose rounds. It's very T-sided at the moment, Overpass, and they've got time. All they got to do is not make mistakes. Just keep doing their game plan. I'm sure, you know, one time their setups will counter E-Frag perfectly, and then they can ruin the E-Frag economy and then really do the damage. So it's just about not losing your head. You're still in the game, boys.
Yeah, definitely. I can't stress this enough, and I always love talking about the topic of mentality in CSGO and how much of an effect it has. And, you know, like what you were saying, Vex do not want to be feeling the pressure too hard here. The second that they kind of start to take too much of an emotional kind of feel to how they're doing right now, and that could, you know, start to lead to them tilting a little bit, and then it all goes downhill from then on once you let that negative mentality set in. But so far, it's looking fairly positive here, as They do a little bit of damage. E-Frag, though, they do get out onto the site. Lots of smokes coming in. As you can see, the utility is not a problem this time, as my screen is just full of smoke granatas. And, you know, 2 versus 4 retake, not ideal, and it is looking like Vexed is going to be forced into doing another save here. Hyper being the only one trying to put any aggression on. He does get that M4. He's going to be falling back with that. And Garubi saving that for Mars over towards B, but he does get taken down. So, you know, they do need these guns if they want to do anything, and that's going to take the score to 9-11 at this point. So, you know, not the ideal scoreline that I think Vexed were hoping for coming into their second half. And, you know, NKL, knowing where he is, I don't think he's going to let him get away with saving this M4. And he does die in that explosion, but it was worth it, as that does completely and utterly crush the economy of Vexed. And there's my game crashing again. So, Logan.
And I've just had the same issue as well. I think there's definitely something wrong with the relay we've got right now. Just bear with us a second. We're going to try and get this sorted as soon as possible. I think it is a issue with the relay itself, rather than the server. I think the game is going on fine on the server, so don't worry, guys. Action isn't going to be ruined. You just can't watch it.
No, in the meantime, we'll try to make up our own account. What? No, that sounds like a terrible idea.
I've seen that work before.
Well, you know, who do you think's taking this round while we're down? I think E-Frag is still taking another one. That's my prediction.
I think E-Frag will continue to get rounds until they can work out some sort of, you know, until how should we say, until Vex can work out a way to counter it. I don't think it's going to be straight away.
Well, a friend of mine said that what you normally notice is that whenever games go to being at same scoreline, so when this hits 11-11, that's when Vexed are going to win their round. And that's my prediction. We're going to see the scoreline even out at 11-11, and then it's going to go to 12-11 to Vexed. 100%. Anyway, you back in? I am indeed back in, so
I am
go down here, over
back
here
in as
on
well.
the A-bomb site, and it's all down to Groovy here with the famed CZ75 auto. And you know, him inside a bank, he's not going to find anyone where he is currently, so he might just be looking to save that, or maybe just try to do a little bit of economic damage by pushing onto the site. If he can keep Spy Leader there, maybe do a little bit of damage. Spy Leader is a very low HP, so he could potentially go down here. And E-Frag, like what we've seen, they're just doing a phenomenal job here of coming back from their not too strong performance on the CT side, and once again showing that they're a very, very dominant player in this league.
It's getting very close now, 10-11. But we see a change of pace coming out of Vexed. You see the full utility all across the board for E-Frag, looking very good, plenty of cash in the bank. Dreamer almost with max cash, but this is a crucial part now. We see 2 orbs coming out from Vexed. A change of plan here. We realise, okay, hold on, the rifles aren't doing it for us right now. Let's get some orbs. Let's get some lines of fire down. Let's set up some kill zones and really catch E-Frag off guard when they push in next time. Here we go, E-Frag pushing in long.
He does find the first, taking down Bubble straight away. These guys trapped behind the rock. He lands the second on the Spy Leader. But can he quite get the third? There it is. Victor does go down. And now it's a 2 versus 5 here. NKL and Dreamer suddenly thrust into this situation. Bomb going over towards the B bomb site. That's going to be a rotate coming out here from the CTs. But they've still got Ralin alive on the site, lurking inside of pit, just waiting for that bomb to go down. And Hyper coming around the back with the AWP. Will he find the shot? Well, it's going to be Pete, and Pete was on for the ace until Ralin stole it by taking down Dreamer. A wonderful 4K, though, from Pete, and that was the first AWP we've seen in quite some time, and it just worked so brilliantly for them there, you know? You just notice that change of pace, that change of strategy plays such a huge role right there in winning them that round.
Yes, it did. And I see 12-10 the score.
Yeah, okay. I was wrong. I was wrong. With my 12-11 prediction. I was close.
You were getting there. You were getting there. I think the AWP, you know, it really worked out. It was a great purchase there.
I never predicted that.
Caught them off guard completely.
Yeah, looking at this round, it doesn't like they're set up for the B-side takers. They have full-on connector control. And they're going to be pushing down towards the B-bomb site here, but Groovy is ready and waiting as he finds that kill on a Victor. And he tries to land the spray. Nicely traded, though, as they do manage to take down the long play. That's going to be Hyper going down, and then Groovy follows shortly after this. Now it's a 3-on-3, and Bomb's going down, but the rotate is already inbound. The Molotov's flying in. And this could be a bubble trying to make these shots connect. But Furlan lands that kill on a Dreamer, and then Furlan pushing out Pit does find a bubble, and then suddenly it's a 1 versus 3 here. Spy Leader positioned on short. Bomb is planted for him. If he can land the shot through the smoke, then there's no reason why this round cannot be theirs. But he does spray, and it doesn't quite connect. And that's going to be 10-13. So, you know, Vexed looking like they might be on the winning streak here, although E-Frag still lots of money left to buy.
That was a beautiful move there by the Vexed player, just to step in front of his teammate and be the bodyguard, soaking up all the bullets while his teammate defuses. This is the thing about Vex. Now they got into their stride, you can see they've got some great retake setups, and there you go, some mid aggression, gonna get the frag, takes a lot of damage to boot, but the number advantage, 5 versus 4 now.
Yeah, straight away, you know, they might not be at the HP advantage, but they are definitely in terms of the numbers game. And with an AWP being on low HP, you know, you can still play a very defensive angle and at least get one more kill out of that, especially when we've seen that Pete is such a competent AWPer. But looking at this Dreamer as well, just lurking inside a connector, something to bear in mind here. He's just going to be looking to try to catch one of those B players off guard, but there is no need for aggression just yet. Smokes landing down up on the A-bomb site, but is it just going to be a fake? I'm not too sure. We haven't seen anything coming out of E-Frag just yet. They don't have much in the way of utility, but it does look like they're lining up their smokes and flashes now. Finally, to flash into that smoke, just going to push straight through, going in dry. He finds one, but then gets quickly traded out by Rallen here. Furlan and Pete still, sorry, Rallen and Rallen's still alive on site. I can't read. Rallen does find one. Bubble does go down, quickly traded out, and the Dreamer gets that trade frag, putting it into a 2 versus 2 to equalize these numbers back up. And now it's all down to Groovy. Hyper here, just that AWP M4A4 combo. Bomb's planted for toilets though. And we're going to see Groovy on side of truck trying to find a kill onto the toilet players. Hyper just spotting that angle. They're both holding so passively. They're just waiting for that defuse. Groovy's on it and he's holding. And he's still holding. He might be able to get it. Oh.
There's no way you can kill 2 of them facing that quickly. It's just, it shouldn't happen. It's not likely to happen. He should have just held it and just hoped that potato aim took over for the E-Frag players and he could just quickly get the defuse. Fortunately, it was unfortunate really that his teammate didn't get the first kill of the AWP. If he gets that first frag, the second player is less likely to face aggressively. He's just going to have that pause and think, oh god, is he facing me? Should I peek? And that could have just given the time that Vex needed just to get that defuse.
Yeah, definitely, and that would have been a fairly nice little defuse there. Not quite a ninja, it was more like a samurai because everyone kind of knew he was there, but it was very nice. That's going to be a nice flash coming in from Hyper as he does find that kill onto Dreamer. That's going to be the AK. And a nice little boost here to look up in a connector. They're playing very heavy on this connector control. They're playing for mid and playing for the information. They know that they're not B, so at this point it's got to be A. And it doesn't like that's what it's going to be as the bomb is up towards there and a rotate coming back through. Now E-Frag here in this situation, very little information as to the A-bomb site, but I think if they push and they notice there's people there, we might see a rotate down to B. And then looking at this, the B players, lots of aggression here as they push around from behind, but Bubble opens up the A-bomb site with that double kill headshot. And Spy Leader just notices Groovy there as he's alive on site. Are they going to expect that these 2 people coming around from behind? That's going to be Pete going down. And it's all down to Rallen here, NKL. Will he be able to make something happen? He reloads, but he still manages to land that shot just in the nick of time, getting put down at 54 HP. And I'm sure if that had lasted a few milliseconds longer, then we might have seen him going down that round. And that could have been an AK for this round, which, you know, might not have been too big news. But what that means is they definitely could have gotten more utility out of this. You're going to notice that Groovy's going to be running with that FAMAS and, you know, in the sake of utility. And other than that, not too much utility for the most part. Like, looking at it, they've got, what, 3 smoke grenades, some flashes, and a Molotov. And then that 1 kit on Groovy. I don't know if that's enough to hold back E-Frag at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot, but the AWP, I think, is what they really need. They need to get that quick frag with the AWP. Wow, that molly straight under Furlan was countered by him dropping a smoke on himself. He's going to hold the position now and just hope that he survives, praying and wishing. Well, Hyper will peek in middle and we'll spot out 1 T there. Doesn't realise that there's quite a few there coming towards him very quickly. Now he's realised with that flash he'll fall back and Now it's all down to Pete facing an awkward angle for an AWP. He was left isolated from the rest of his team there. That's the second AWP one, hyper falling as well. So this round really not going the way Vex wanted it to.
Definitely not. Both those AWPers going down straight away. Would have coped with the aggression. No one there quite, you know, no one there to trade for them. And it's all going to come out of Ferlin here, holding this close angle. And he does find that first kill on a spy leader. And then Groovy doing some good damage with the FAMAS. Nice trade. Put this to 2 versus 3. Ferlin finds the second. And he's just playing this truck spot so diligently. Dreamer, though, does eventually get that kill. And they are very suspecting of Roland doing this push from behind as he does get taken out. Dreamer gets that clutch. That was like 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3, I don't know. Either way, nice shots there from both players. Finally did a phenomenal job there holding that site. And I think, you know, if the rotated came in a little bit earlier, if Roland had just got behind them, literally a few seconds earlier, that whole round could have panned out so differently there from Vexed. And this is going to be them forced onto an eco this round.
Absolutely, for little things like that can make all the difference. Hyper facing there, he's going to get taken down by Spidey, who gets a second and goes for a third with the Glock. He's laying down the law here, and it's all left down to Pete on his own in foreign territory. He's going to get drilled by NKL.
And you know, taking a look at the scoreboard quickly. Look at Dreamer almost hitting that 30 bomb, 28 to 17. He has been doing such a phenomenal job here for E-Frag, just pulling through on those rounds. And I would say, in my opinion, he's definitely my man of the match. You know, my MVP. I'd say he's had the biggest impact. He's played the lurk role so well for his team.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt there. He's really had a positive effect for his team. If you look at it, I mean, both Pete and Groovy sitting above everyone else on the E-Frag's team. So Groovy and Pete both on 22 frags. Everyone else on E-Frag 19 or lower. But it's Dreamer. Dreamer just solely pulling this team up single-handedly. If he's alive, you can't help but feel like E-Frag have a chance of winning a round.
Yeah, definitely. Even when we look back on Inferno, his lurk plays won them many a round, and he's just so calm and collected. And in the dying age of the lurk player, where it seems like so many of the golden oldies, as it were, are kind of, you know, failing to come to light. There's this little glimmer of hope in the form of Dreamer here, as he's showing once again that the lurk role is not something where you kind of frag mid-tier by any stretch of the imagination. So looking at this, we got smokes and flashes going out onto B, but a nice read. Rollin does get one, quickly traded out though by Bubble, and here comes the rotate coming in from A. They're not hedging their bets on this. They are literally pulling everyone down to the B-bomb site, and will E-Frag realize this? Even if they do, I'm not too sure they're going to have enough time to pull off just yet, but Spy Leader doesn't care for walls. He doesn't care for Ferlin either, as he just shoots him through one. And now it's a 2 versus 3. Holding the smoke close. Groovy does find one, but will he get traded out by Bubble? It's all going to come out of this right now. That opens up the entire site for the Bubble, going for that shot onto Pete. And Pete here, 50 HP with this AWP. He really has to go for this unless they want to play for the overtime. But, you know, he's against 2 very keen aimers indeed as he flashes himself out. And Spy Leader does find that kill, and that round falling entirely onto Bubble and Spy Leader there. 5 kills between them. What a great, you know, what a great round that was, and pivotal to say the least.
Absolutely. You know. I mean, 15 rounds now on E-Frag, 13 rounds on Vexed. Just what a comeback by E-Frag. You know, they had a really disastrous CT side, didn't suit their playstyle at all. But now they're on the terror side and they can put that aggression down onto Vexed. Vexed look really uncomfortable. They look very unsure about what they're doing. They're not falling back as a unit, which E-Frag were doing. The only thing E-Frag I really feel could have improved on the CT side was just better use of their utility. Now though that we're on that T side, they don't need to. They're just hitting all the shots. It's really, really strong, confident play from E-Frag.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what we were saying earlier about mentality is coming to effect here for Vexed a bit. Going from being, you know, 11-4, so that's like 7 rounds up, to 15-3, fighting for the overtime. That is not the situation you want to find yourself in, and we can only imagine how that feels. And so can my client, apparently, as we get kicked once again from the server. So yeah, it's all gravy, baby.
It's all gravy, baby, and to see how this round pans out. Hopefully, we can get back in.
Ooh, your voice there was particularly lovely. We won't. We'll never talk about that ever again.
I was a little bit shocked that we just got cut out there. I really wanted to see how that was going to pan out, and I was just getting a little bit hysterical.
Yeah, I know, a little
Can't you
bit
blame
flustered.
me?
I mean, in all honesty, I could have let you get away with that and just carried on going, but I'm not. I'm not going to because I like to think of myself, you know, that I'm that cruel, and you know, it's all good. It's all good. I liked it. I thought it was cute. So anyway, we do manage to get back in finally. Not much has changed. 15-3. 15-3? 15-13. I only read one of the numbers there. Oh, numbers again. It's just not working. Yeah, 15-3 here. And a very, very mixed buy from Vexed, as they do have those phalanxes in that scout, and they proved that the scout can be very damaging, but not to Bubble as he goes out. He does find Hyper and Groovy there. Now it's a 2 versus 5 retake. No option to save. Vexed have to go for this. It is all or nothing as they push out onto the site. And we do see Spy Leader coming around from behind, playing that lurk roll, something we haven't seen him do yet. And there's Dreamer with the final kill of the match, taking it to 16-13. What a comeback there from E-Frag.
What a GG. E-Frag looking very strong. I thought Vex would have this map personally. Been proven wrong here. You know, still a little bit of work to do from Vex's behalf on their CT side. Their T side was so good. It was so drilled that I was really impressed by the Molotovs and smokes and flashes they deployed, but ultimately it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, that was a very close game, like we said it would be, and very entertaining to watch. But, you know, I've been Gamers Forge, and that's been Logan.
I am at Logan CSGO, and what's your Twitter?
I think it's like Gamers, at Gamers Forge, at Gamers_Forge, sorry. I'll put them in chat for everyone.
Brilliant.
And that's all from us.
Thanks for watching, guys. Been an interesting game. Nice and close at the end. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. Take care now.